Good afternoon, vlog. I'm definitely vlogging a lot later in the day today. I didn't feel very well yesterday. I had like a backache in the morning slash afternoon. And like right before Beebs came home, that was my speaker, sorry. Right before Beebs came home, I took Tylenol and it went away for a few hours, maybe like 3 hours at the most. And then by the evening, 8-9 p.m., it came back with a vengeance. So obviously I couldn't take extra strength Tylenol and then my Tylenol PM, so I just took the Tylenol PM with my regular nightly dose, and it seemed to help the pain somewhat. So yeah. And then fast forward to this morning, I woke up feeling so fucking sick. Like, I just don't feel good. Body aches, headache, congestion, cough, just the whole 9 yards. So yeah, definitely not feeling good. I started to get curious, and I actually ended up researching if heart disease slash like my heart conditions can affect my immune system, and it said yes, especially after heart disease, a diagnosis of heart disease and or having a heart attack, which unfortunately both of the above apply to me. So that makes sense as to why I've been getting sick. You guys know I was sick like less than a month ago. I've never been sick that much in my life. Like, typical for me before my whole heart disease diagnosis was like twice a year, if that. So definitely not the best, and it kind of scares me, but I'm not gonna focus on it. Obviously it sucks, but there's nothing I can do. So yeah, got a late start this morning. Woke up at like 11:30-ish. Very, very late. Obviously, as soon as I woke up, I got my pills in me. I also ended up getting in the bath and soaking for a little bit to hopefully help with like the body aches. Yeah, and I just washed while I was in there. It can never hurt. So yeah, I did that. I was in the bath for about an hour-ish, and then I obviously got out. I also made some tea, chamomile tea with honey, to hopefully help my throat and just generally start to feel better. Hasn't really seemed to do much, unfortunately. So yeah. Also, I wanted to update you guys. Last night slash like yesterday evening, I heard back from Workforce Services, and I was approved for my health insurance, and it is active now and moving forward. They also were able to go back 2 months from January 1st of this year, so it will cover anything from November 1st of 25 up until now, and obviously moving forward. So that's awesome. I'm super happy with that being taken care of. It was definitely putting a lot of stress on me, so I'm just relieved. I think the stress was coming from like knowing my heart conditions, and I'm obviously medicated for psych stuff up here. So yeah, just knowing everything that I have to pay for and all my doctor's appointments, medications, whatever, and how expensive it all is was just stressing me out. So super happy that I got that taken care of. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I did call and let my dad and Nicole know. Nicole said, "Good job, sweetie," and I was like, "I literally love you." So they were super happy and glad that I got it taken care of. And obviously, I've told you guys, my dad's insurance will end for me when I turn 26 by law. and it obviously doesn't hurt that I have Medicaid as well. Until then, I will just be double covered until April. So yeah, never hurts. So I'm definitely really glad I got that done. So today I moved things around. As you can tell, you guys know my blood pressure cuff was sitting on top of my kit over there. I was just tired of shoving it anywhere that I could put it. Like sometimes I would put it on top of those drawers, and I just hated not having a designated place for it. So I ended up bringing this end table that we had by the couch, one of them that we had by the couch, into the room next to my nightstand. Put my daily doses of pills night and day, obviously, there. So they're out every morning and night. The blood pressure cuff, obviously, right there. And then I moved my monitor for my pacemaker down there, and it's just plugged in to the outlet up there. So now both of the USBs and the other outlet are free on my nightstand. And I believe yesterday I mentioned that the big black one for the blood pressure cuff doesn't fit next to my phone charger, and it was a pain in the ass unplugging them every time. So I did that, and then I also did some work in my blood pressure log. I will show you what I did there. So obviously you guys have seen this. I started the evening readings on the 11th, so this one doesn't have as many readings. As you can see, I started this on the 7th. So anyway, I have this page for tonight's reading, and then I specified, obviously, the dates. I believe I showed you guys that yesterday. And then I did my morning reading for today over here. You guys can see it was later in the afternoon. 101/67 and a little bit higher of a BPM due to it being afternoon. And then I obviously prepped up until the end of the month for both morning and evening. Over here I didn't do the activities below each individual reading like I did on the previous page. Like you guys have seen, the activities are underneath each. But for this one, I just did like general activities for the rest of the month for the evening. So obviously for today I was in the hot bath, which is obviously a trigger for me. And then obviously I'm sick. And then for March, obviously I will do the same kind of setup. And if I need to do 2 pages like this, I can do that as well. But so yeah, that's that. And then I also did some other stuff in there, but I can't show you because it's personal information. I wrote down like a case number for my health insurance, some other stuff, like I wrote down like medication dosages, how many times a day. I don't want to dox myself, so that's the whole reason I'm not showing you. I know I've mentioned some of my medications, but obviously I'll never share like all of them. I've just always been told it's not a wise decision to share everything and like dosages and stuff. Maybe that's just me and it's not that big of a deal, but I've just always been told that. But without showing you, as you can see, I wrote everything down, and then I also wrote like refill reminders. So I wrote down what I need to refill, because I did refill my daytime today. I believe I told you guys yesterday that today's dose was the last dose. So I did that this morning, and I logged all of the medications that need refilling. And then also last night, I transferred some stuff that I had written in my journal during the Super Bowl, actually, that I need to mention to the psychiatrist on the 24th. And obviously I don't want to take my whole journal with me to that appointment, so I transferred it all to the same notebook that I do my blood pressures in the very back. So everything that I have felt like I want to mention to him is now in that little notebook with all my other important medical info and just general info. So that will be a lot easier to take with me. But you guys can see I was watching some stuff on the iPad. I also brought in my speaker that's usually in my car. Rochelle, sorry, my stomach's making hella weird noises. I don't feel good. Anyway, Rochelle got me this for a birthday last year, I believe, and yeah, it's a waterproof speaker, so I can take it in the shower or in the pool, but yeah, I brought this in to play YouTube and or music because the iPad is not very loud. Although I don't really have a place to put the speaker itself where it's like out of the way, I might make room on my little shelf. I would hang it with this carabiner on my lights, but they're already like drooping, and this is pretty heavy, so I don't want to like pull the nails out of the wall or like pull the lights down. So I'll have to think of a new place to put it. So I actually just realized that I have these 3 nails that my Bitty Pops used to be on that Beebs got me, but I moved them, so I'm just gonna hang this here for now. That way, when I want to use it, it's right there. So yeah, I also, while I was in the bathroom this morning, I wrote Beebs a little love note and left it on the mirror for him. You guys have seen that he leaves me one on the bathroom mirror every day. And I obviously always try to reciprocate that effort and show him the same kind of love. So today I wrote him a pretty long one. I would show you in the mirror, but I'm actually not wearing pants. So yeah, but rest assured I did write him a note. I usually try to be productive during the day and make Beeb's life easier every day when he gets home. But today I didn't really get up to much because I haven't felt good. So the dishes are unfortunately still in the sink and these are clean. So didn't get anything done today. I feel bad, but obviously everyone has their days. The dogs were out of their kennel, but I did want to lay down and relax, being that I don't feel good. So they are back in their kennel, but Indy's gone potty for the day. Like, don't worry, they're not being like neglected or whatever. So yeah, and also like I wasn't planning on actually vlogging and being out of bed. Like I said, because I don't feel good. I've said that a million times. But here I am. Plans change. So yeah, obviously Beebs will be home in a decent amount of time pretty soon. So I'm not worried about them. They were out for a few hours. So yeah, he will obviously take them out when he gets home. I did do a little bit of journaling this morning. Not very much. I have no idea what I did with the pen I was using. I literally can't find it anywhere. My memory is ass, as you know, so I don't know what I did with it, but I wrote a decently long paragraph. Hopefully I can find my pen in a decent amount of time, but yeah, I probably just misplaced it and don't remember. So hopefully I'll find that and be able to journal some more. Of course, it's gonna be like in the last place I look. So I'm gonna check my purse because I always do dumb shit and put shit like where it's not supposed to be. But while I look, I'm gonna show you I did some reorganizing in my purse. You guys know I had that little pill container from my grandma that I just had like random meds in, like the peppermint, extra strength Tylenol, and anxiety pills. But I moved all of those into this little container from Flint's Mints. If you guys haven't seen these, they're everywhere. We actually got these at the adult shop, but they're gone. So yeah, and they have like the same kind of tin piece in here that dispenses them. So I feel like even if this comes open by any chance, they won't go everywhere. So this is just like extra meds, pain relief, stuff like that. I organized this little pouch, hair ties. I have some nail clippers and some eye drops. With my extensions, I tend to need hair ties a lot more than I would with my short hair. these you guys have seen, my Tylenol PM and a lot of spare anxiety meds. This cute little leather pouch, I believe this was thrifted. You can see this comes undone and you can hook it to a purse or whatever. But in here I have a couple things. I have this Smoke and Mirrors Butter Balm. I believe this is supposed to be a dupe for the Summer Friday or something like that. But I have this in here. It's just a nice red color, not too red, like you don't look insane. It's just a nice gloss. And then I have this hand cream from Rochelle that you guys have also seen. This pouch is convenient because I can keep like cards, and there's also like an extra zipper pocket. Alright, next up, obviously I have my glasses case. They're not in here right now, they're actually in the kitchen. I wore them yesterday, but yeah, I don't keep the cleaning cloth in here. I know I probably should, but it's not in here at the moment. I have my Vaseline. I've mentioned this before. Next, this little sequin coin pouch, coin purse, whatever you call it. I have a couple moisturizing lip products. You guys know my OG, well, the dupe for the OG gingerbread cookie by Chapstick, and then the Blistex Raspberry Lemonade Blast. Both of these are from Biebs, so shout out to him. And then my all-time favorite, this reminds me of my grandpa, obviously, Carmex. This is the original. I didn't want everything like floating around. I didn't want to have to dig for shit, so yeah, I have that. Obviously, my wet brush. I'm kind of grossed out because as I'm pulling stuff out, I'm noticing that my brush is shedding all over the bottom of my bag. Long black hair. Very gross. I might put this in like a plastic bag so it doesn't do that. Anyway, I have a pad just in case, and my wallet. You guys have seen this many times before. Thank you to my sister for this. Probably like my all-time favorite wallet. And if you want to see what I mean, look at all that hair in the bottom of there. But not gonna worry about that right now. I don't feel good, and I also don't have the energy to do that right now, so we're just gonna act like it isn't there. I can never zip it with one hand. But we're gonna act like none of that is there and carry on about our day. I don't think I have anything. Oh yeah, I do. And then in the front pocket, you guys can see I labeled this. It's travel, daily, and nightly meds. So just a daily dose and a nightly dose of my normal pills. I'm familiar with what pill is what, so it doesn't matter if they get mixed up. As you can see, they're all jumbled. I put them in there how they're like each dose separately, but anyway, they mix up regardless, so yeah, they're jumbled now. But like I said, I'm not unfamiliar with what pill is what. I'm pretty sure on each pill, so yeah, not a concern. I have a daily and a nightly dose in here, which is always good to have, so I did that. And then I also have a few more anxiety pills. Me being the anxious being that I am, I can never have too many anxiety meds with me. And then I also have a spoolie. My sister gets 1.5 million of these because her lash girl gives her one every time she gets her lashes done, which is like once every few weeks, so she has 1 million of them. I've got 3 that she's given me, and this is one of them. It's just like pink sparkly, but yeah, for my brows, you can see it has a brow product in it. So yeah, I obviously forgot something because my memory is ass, but also in my purse I have this little container, hair again. I have my little pop socket. This came with my like grippy one I have now. I'm not really sure what this one does, but I kept it, so it's just an extra attachment. You guys have seen my Hungry Bear lip scrub and Yum 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 lip mask, Winnie the Pooh. These are from ColourPop. And then I have the OG chapstick that I was talking about, the gingerbread kiss. So that's everything now. That's everything that's in my purse. Yeah, you can never have enough organization, in my opinion. I hate when shit is just like floating around. So I made good use of myself yesterday and did that. I also did some organization in my drawers, but I'm not gonna show you that. It's not that interesting. Nothing on the outside of the bag has changed. I still have my, well, the hand sanitizer I stole from Beebs, and then my Hello Kitty and my Care Bear. So it's been about 20 minutes since I got off the phone with Beebs. He should be home in the next half hour, hopefully. I am getting hungry, more hungry than I was. So yeah. Oh, also this morning I called cardiology, just the office that I usually call to like ask questions or ask about appointments or whatever. And I never am able to speak to my cardiologist himself. Luckily today I didn't need to. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I called because I was aware that I have an EP appointment sometime in April. I remembered from like way back when I scheduled it last year. If you guys don't know, EP is electrophysiology. They are over my pacemaker, making sure everything is good. So yeah, I called them, and that appointment is on the 17th at 1:40, obviously of April. So I have that appointment as well. And I've written it down in my blood pressure log because I wrote down upcoming appointments as well. So we have that to look forward to this year. So I'm covering up the doctor that it's under, but this is my little reminder next to all of my other reminders right there. They all have very personal info on them, otherwise I would show you. Speaking of that, I can actually get rid of 3 of these, so these can go in the garbage. They were just notes from when I applied for health insurance. Say goodbye. Also, yesterday I cleaned out the laundry room. I will show you in a second, as well as the linen closet and the coat closet. Anyway, we'll get to those in a moment. But I found in the laundry room Beeb's box of tea light candles. These are just unscented, mostly for power outages, but I lit 3 of them in here because I think candles are cozy. But I will show you, as you can see, I left a sticky note, but I took everything out, and I also swept. As you can see, Beebs failed to hang up his jacket, but I moved the shoe rack over here, dog food there, broom is still in there, organized these hooks, and then up there doesn't really matter. So yeah, I also took shoes that were Beebs that he never wears into the closet, into our closet, because I feel like the only shoes that need to be here are shoes that we wear. Not only that, but they are easy access if they're in here, like when we go to leave or whatever. So I hung up the 2 jackets that fell. But yeah, that's what I did in that closet. And then I organized the linen closet and labeled it. So I have some miscellaneous stuff down there, obviously more up there. Stuff that was just making the laundry room look kind of cluttery. Washcloths labeled, towels and or hand towels labeled, sheets and or pillowcases, and then the shelf is empty for now. Moving into the laundry room, I didn't really do any organization like around here or anything. I mostly just did the shelves. So that shelf is now empty. Most of it was just junk. Organized everything up here. Put our Christmas wax warmer back. Back there is like ironing stuff. Those are the tea light candles. These are spare stuff that my grandpa got us for Christmas in that huge box I believe I mentioned. These are dishwasher pods, and then extra sponges for dishes, obviously detergent. These are also for my grandpa, detergent, Febreze, and Clorox wipes, and then we have dryer sheets. And then these are all the hoodies that were thrown in the coat closet. I obviously wasn't sure if they were clean or dirty because they had been there so long, but yeah, we hung these up after they were washed to dry. So they are dry now, and I'm probably going to move those into the closet at some point. So yeah, I did get a few things done yesterday. Unfortunately, today wasn't the same because I feel like shit. So I actually put shorts on so I can not worry about showing my booty thing or anything else. But I'll show you today's getup. I'm wearing my Dr. Pepper crop top-ish kind of shirt with these shorts you guys have seen many times. I showed you in my New Year's Eve vlog part 2, I believe, and then a bunch of other times as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention while I'm thinking about it, Beebs let me know, like not very long ago, maybe an hour ago, that the apartment manager, the chick that's like over this complex that runs it, I've mentioned how I have my feelings about the management here before. Anyway, not the point. She called him and let him know that we're coming up on our lease being up, so by the end of April we will have to either sign a new lease or leave. And if we do want to leave, we have to write a 60-day like thing telling them that we are not signing another lease. So we'd have to sign that like notice of whatever that we're moving out by the end of next week. So we've pretty much 100% made the decision that we both don't want to move again. Moving is a pain in the ass. I'm sure everyone has done it at least once and nobody likes it. Obviously that, and then we also just would rather stay here for longer than a year. We like the area, we like where we're at. Obviously everyone has complaints no matter where they live, but yeah, we shall see. But right now we're mostly leaning towards signing another lease here and staying for another year. So obviously I will update you guys on that, but for right now it's looking like we're staying. All right, I put my cardigan on because I'm actually getting kind of chilly, probably because I'm sick. That probably plays a part in it. Usually during the day I turn the heat off, especially when I'm like up doing chores and being productive. I get very, very hot. So usually I turn it off, and same with today. Plus I like to have the door open and the windows open. You guys know this, but yeah, heat is off. And then obviously we turn it on at night. But yeah, I'm getting pretty chilly, so maybe I will turn it on again. You guys probably saw when I was showing this area a minute ago, but I moved one of my Hello Kitty mugs that Beebs got me that I was displaying over there, over here to put like pens, pencils, and markers that I use daily, and then the Scotch tape I just keep over in those drawers. So yeah, I also need to go to the pharmacy and order refills for the 2 medications that need it. I'd rather do it now than be scrambling when I'm out to get them refilled. Obviously taking into account that like I do have quite a few left for like 2 more weeks, and sometimes with prescriptions like that, they won't let you refill them until they're completely gone. So yeah, it just depends on the medication, but usually they will let me refill it early. So I guess we will see what they say. But once I have my insurance card, I can mention to them like my insurance info for Medicaid, and hopefully that will help with like general medication costs, so it's not so expensive. So yeah, I'm really hungry. I'm just really impatient. I can't wait until Beebs brings Chick-fil-A. Time check, it is 3:38. So I also posted a few TikToks today. So my TikTok is the same as it is here at That Heart Chick. The only thing that's different, like I've said before, is my Snapchat. So I will eventually put those down below. I know I've said I'll do that a million times, but I'll do it eventually. 3 of my toes came off. So, not my toes, but the polish, obviously. That's great, but I'm not doing that today. The dogs are okay today. Like I said, they were out earlier, but I'm not in the mood, so they'll be put away until Beebs gets back. But today, the sunshine is actually out. It is still very, very cold. I had ended the vlog by the time it happened, but yesterday we actually got a ton of snow. It snowed for like 4 or 5 hours straight, so yeah, definitely still very, very cold. You guys can see the snow that's stuck. But today it is brighter. Bright but cold. So yeah, just thought I'd do a little weather check-in. Utah's fucking weird. This hasn't even been winter. It's like the prequel to actual spring. We want to get like a thermometer, like digital thermometer situation to put maybe on that wall, so we can tell what temperature it is outside and in here, and just like general weather as well. So maybe that will happen in the future. Beeb should be home literally any minute. I am going to turn the heat back on. I'm just gonna turn it down to like 62. I'm not really like cold. I guess the only part of me that's actually cold is my feet. So maybe I'll put some socks on like a smart person. I've been really good about keeping my drawers organized. Some of my socks aren't paired, but I'm doing pretty good, so don't clock me. All right, socks acquired. I'm just wearing ankle socks. I don't feel like wearing like higher socks or like fuzzy socks, so just plain white Reeboks. Fun fact, I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, it's kind of funny, but my grandma actually, like, she's just a very kind, giving, caring person. That's just in her nature. She's wonderful. Anyway, my grandma, every time I'm at her house and I don't have socks on, especially when it's cold outside or even doesn't matter the weather, she'll always say, "Do you want a pair of socks? Go get one out of my drawer." So these socks included are from my grandmother. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this vlog. Obviously Beeps is gonna be home very, very soon anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go drink some water because I think part of my headache is a dehydration headache. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that, wait for Beebs, enjoy the evening with him, get some food in my system. And yeah, that being said, I love you guys so, so much. And like I always say, don't forget to always express what you're thankful for. Drink your water, take your meds, and if your posture's bad, fix it. And until next time, I will see you soon. Bye. Mwah.